Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Welcome to today's webinar on Zoho Backstage. We recently they have launched a feature RSV. So today our topic for the webinar will be RSVP Transform Guest Management with Zoho Backstage. Maybe we can wait a couple of minutes so that other attendees can also join. So that after 2 or 3 minutes we can get started with the webinar. Thank you. Hi Mohammed. So we will be getting started in a minute. Just we are waiting for the participants to join. Okay. So let's get started. For maybe I think most of the participants have joined. We can get started. So let me share my screen. Please let me know once my screen is visible. You can just show me a thumbs up if my screen is visible to you. Please let me know if my screen is visible. Okay, thank you. So let's get started. So, welcome once again to the webinar. So today's webinar is on RSVP, Transform Guest Management with Zoho Backstage. So, let's first get started with the today's agenda. So, today's agenda, I will be first covering introduction to Zoho Backstage and then followed up by benefits of Backstage and why do we choose Zoho Backstage over the other traditional tools. And then we'll be looking into what RSVP means and when to use RSVP versus the regular ticketing in Zoho Backstage, followed up by key features of RSVP feature. Then I will be walking you through the live demo on the application, and then last we will be seeing the benefits of RSVP. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the Q&A box, or maybe at the end of the session, I will be answering to all the questions. So let's get started. So first, let's see what is Zoho Backstage. So as we know, Zoho Backstage is an online event management platform which helps the organization to plan, run, and track their events. Instead of using multiple different tools to for our events, online and offline events, Backstage brings everything together under one single roof. So unless traditional tools like Eventbrite or etc, if or else we might be using Excel sheet for our event management, right? And for website building we might use other third party tools. So instead of using multiple tools, like for one for website building, one for hosting the event, one for if we are planning an online event, we will require an online meeting tool like Zoho meeting or Zoom, right? So instead of having multiple tools, Backstage centralize everything into a one single streamlined platform. So let's see the benefits of Backstage. So when I say all-in-one solution, like the one I told earlier, like we can manage our event websites, like microsites can be built directly from Backstage, and we can host it directly from here itself. Then all the registration, like the ticketing, if either it's a free or a paid ticket, we can do everything within Backstage. Like, we can track the attendee engagement and analytics, and also the guest management can be tracked. Not only this, from the marketing stream, because Backstage is already being handled by the marketing team, we can push the data from Zoho Backstage to our CRM platform as well, so that the sales team can take it over and they can convert those leads into deals. And the second benefit is event versatility. So when I say event versatility, like what kind of events it can host. So as I said, it can host virtual as well as in person, and also it can host hybrid events where we might have like mix of both in person and virtual. So all the events can be hosted under Backstage. And then the professional branding. So here we can create like fully customized ad free event website, a microsite, with our organization identity, not with a Zoho. There will be no logo of Zoho Backstage. We can have our organization identity itself. And then we have, when I say advanced engagement, like we can have interactive polls being built, Q&As, mobile app features for check-ins are also available. And then the most important for most of the organizations, like data privacy. So it helps us to ensure GDPR and CCPA compliant with robust privacy controls. Now let's see. Let me quickly share some specific scenarios where Backstage can excel. So we can use Backstage for corporate events. When I say corporate events, like for example, any annual conferences where we can, like, where the event usually occurs for like more than one day. So we can have multi-day or multi-track events can be done, and Backstage can handle hundreds of attendees as well. And where we have like example product launches, like where it requires registration management and live streaming, we can use Backstage definitely. And for educational institutions, so when I say education, like if there are academic conferences where with speaker management and session tracking, we can use Backstage. And for non-profit organization as well, we can use, like for non-profit example, for fundraising goals, right? We with tired of sponsorships being available, we can also use Backstage, because in Backstage we can not only manage attendees, we can also manage sponsorship, and also we can allow them to exhibit also. So we have that feature available in Backstage. And next is why to choose Zoho Backstage over traditional tool. So first is complete brand control. So when I say like traditional tools, I mean like Excel sheet or Eventbrite or etc. Any generic website builder like usually logs into a limited themes and branding options. So but attendees often like use third parties for this, where they are just constructed like to use only the themes that the platform offers. But Zoho Backstage customize everything in every touch point, like starting from website, mobile apps. It can also create badges. We can configure and customize the email templates, and notifications can also be sent, and everything will be like we can customize everything in our brand color, font, and our branding will be there, like our organization branding will be there, not Zoho Backstage branding. And then like as I mentioned, it can deliver a white label experience to our organization. For example, if any a non-profit organization want to run an event where they it want to show their only their charity brand instead of Zoho or any third party, they can definitely go with Backstage, because it has the charity's branding as identity. And next is the advanced automation. So as compared to the traditional method like spreadsheets or email, like we have to do a manual follow up, a reminder has to be sent after the event, we have to do a reminder, like the feedback email has to be sent out, right? So those are time consuming, as well as mostly prone to errors. With Backstage, we can set up automatic email confirmations, reminders, and thank you emails after the event as well. And then we can also do the check-in automations can be done via Backstage. And then we can also trigger post-event surveys, feedback forms can be sent to the directly to the attendees when it's a virtual event, or for an on a live event we can also have a QR code option so that the attendees can scan and give their feedbacks as well. Third is integrated ecosystem. So here in the traditional tool, as I mentioned, so after the event is completed, in the traditional tool on the Excel sheet, we have to give that Excel sheet to the sales team and they have to take it forward, or we have to import the sheet in the CRM database. But with Zoho Backstage, since it has integration with CRM, automatically once a person registers for the event, the data will be pushed to CRM, and so that sales team can take it forward after the event. So it has integration with CRM, Sales IQ, PageSense, etc. And then when I say scalable architecture, so like traditional tool often crashes or slows down within when heavy attendees traffic comes in. But Backstage can handle from 10 to 10,000 attendees as well. And also, as I mentioned, it handles multi-day and multi-track event as well. And then data compliances. So like traditional tool often does not fully support international compliances, but definitely organization needs that. But and Zoho Backstage like has that feature, like GDPR CCPA compliance feature has been inbuilt, and the attendees will have full control over the data. Like they can opt in or opt out for any mailing topics. They can give consent in the form that they submit, like if they can expose the data or if they do not want to expose the data. And unsubscribe option are also there. And also one last thing is we have a Zoho Backstage offers secured payment processing as well. Since it has integration with various payment gateways, it has a secure and like encrypted attendee information will be stored in Backstage. And next, let's see the topic that we are going to go through is RSVP. So like RSVP is a abbreviated and is derived from the French word, which in English means please respond. So RSVP, like Zoho Backstage RSVP like is a tailored feature which is actually useful for invite only events where we do not sell a ticket for a particular price. So this will enable this will help organization to track their attendance accurately, so that they will have a accurate head count, how many people will be attending, so that they can prepare the dining and the seating arrangement, etc., can be done with RSVP. So this is a new feature that Zoho has launched around, I think, July, end of July month. So this is what RSVP means. Now let's see when to use RSVP and when to use the regular ticketing. So so here you could see when we can use RSVP. So when, for example, it is perfect when we are having an invite only corporate events like board meetings or any executive dinners, where we are only going to invite a n number of people, like 30 to 20 members we are going to invite. And if there is no ticketing, then we can use RSVP feature. If there is any VIP exclusive events or any team meetings, internal team meetings, we can use definitely use RSVP. And if there is any a free event, like for example, if there is any private networking sessions, we can definitely use. And also, for not only for official, we can actually use it for personal as well, like for wedding receptions or family celebration. The event team members who host those events, they can use Backstage for this as well. And now let's see when to use regular ticketing. So if it is a public event with open registration, and if it's a paid conference or workshops, we can definitely use. And if an event is happening for a revenue collection, any charity events, we can use Backstage. And then is large scale events with tiered pricing. So like you might know, Zoho is usually conducts Zoholics every year in India and other countries. They usually use Zoho Backstage for the events and all. Now let's go to the next slide. That is key features of Zoho Backstage RSVP. So there are five key features that I think RSVP is a key features in RSVP. First is import guest list. So either we can create guest lists manually, or we can upload a list of invitees via CSV or we can also, like as mentioned, we can either add single list or multiple lists can also be added. Second, we can send a branded invitation. So like it helps us to build custom email invitation that helps that will reflect our event's tone, visuals, and it will have RSVP buttons for one click confirmation, whether they are attending or they might not, or they may be like they might be 50-50, they might not confirm. So they have three options to select if they are attending or not. And then we have a response tracking. So it helps us to track each guest's status in real time. So we have a dashboard which will show us whether the person is attending or not, how many people has been invited to the event. So there are three options, as I said: attending, not attending, no response. Next, we have the fourth, which is automated reminder. So we can send automated reminders to the guest before a day, or like before 10 days, we can send them reminders, so that we will have a definite head count, how many members are attending for the event. And then we have set response deadline. So it actually helps us to set a cutoff date for the RSVP submission, so which is crucial for finalizing the number of attendees attending the event, so that we can arrange all our catering and the seating arrangements can be done. So either we can do it as like before a day or before 5 days, or on the event date we can set the deadline as well. Now let's see a live demo on Zoho Backstage. Let me see if any questions are there. I think no. Okay. Okay, so this is Zoho Backstage homepage. So let's today I will walk you through like how to create an RSVP event in a realistic scenario. So let's take a topic like if we are planning to create having a like event for Executive Leadership Summit 2025, where we are going to have only C-suite people. Say if we are going to invite 50 members, and where it is going to happen a premium venue, and we are going to plan a networking dinner as well. So in that case, we can build an RSVP event. So here from the Backstage homepage, there is a blue color button which helps us to create an event. So when you click on it, you can create the event name. Executive Leadership Summit 2025. What is the category? If you want, you can add the category. What is the start date? So let's say I'm planning to have it on 30th of September. Start time is 8. We can also have multi-day or single day event as well. For now, I'm making it a single day event, which will start at 8 and end at 5 p.m. And we can select the source language of the website. So once you click on create, it will redirect us to the builder page. Okay, so under dashboard we have manage. Under manage we have event info, where we can configure all our event details, like starting from event name, date, business the category, whether the event website has to be public or private. Because we are going to private, we can select private. If you select private, we will have three more options, like if you wanted to make our event visible in the search engines like Google or Bing, we can select this box, or else we can unselect. If we wanted to list this event in our portal listing, because every for example, this account is a demo account, that's why showing demo to portal event listing. So if you want to list them, we can show that, or else if you wanted to show them in the attendees app, you can do that. But now, for now, I'm just making it as public event and saving it. So once this information is, we have to add the location. Let's see if it's happening in Hilton, Chennai. So it will automatically take the location, and it will have a image loaded over here of the venue. So if you here you could see, okay, so it's taking the image from the Google Hilton image. If you wanted to change, you can click on edit and change the image as well. You can add the time zone. If you wanted to add a summary, you can definitely add it. Maybe I can. Okay. So let me add the description here. Summary. Once done, if you want to add any tags, you can add it. And here you can add your social media channels, your Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can link it every here the bottom. And these are the social media channels available to associate. Then under team members, you can add your team members who are going to be part of this event. You can add them here. So here I have added myself and also Mina. So, and from here we can configure the roles and privileges. So by default, Backstage has three roles. One is owner, organization, and staff. You can also create custom roles as well and assign it to team members based on the access you wanted to give your team to your team members. You can customize that as well. Under agenda, here you could see it's a single track event. If you wanted to add multi-track event, you can click on this add track. You can see here track 1, track 2, track 3 can be added. And if you want to rearrange the track, you have to click on this option to click on move left or move right. I'm moving it right. If you want to rename, you can do it, change the color, etc. If you want to delete it, you can click on this delete option to delete it. If it's a multi-day event, here you could see the date of those multi-day, like 30 September, next one, 1st October, 2nd. It can be seen on top, and you can configure each day, and you can have multi-tracks as well. If you want to add any content in the track, you have to double click on this. You can select the title. What is the title all about? It's a welcome note. Start time, let's see. After the registration, it can start from 8:15 to 45 minutes. If your hall has been, which hall it has to be taken place, if you're aware, you can do that, or you can just uncheck and I'm just adding it as ballroom 1. And if you know who's going to the speaker, you can add it, or if you not, you can just keep it as to be announced and you can move forward. I'm just adding. Okay, click on plus option. Let me get the email ID. So I'm setting up the agenda. Okay, and done. So it will automatically send an invitation that that the person has been added to a particular event. So here, just a minute. Okay. So we can add the speaker details for which track we are adding it. We can change the track as well from here. And okay, description. Welcome keynote, done. So this is how we can add agenda for that particular day as well. You can just drag and drop. If you wanted to change anything, you can just drag and drop the agenda. Under here, we will be having session details. and then we can cover, if we have time we can cover other parts. Now let's move on to the main topic for the webinar is RSVP. So to configure an RSVP you have to navigate to registration. Under registration we have RSVP. So before configuring RSVP we have to configure a general ticket class, which is like free event. If it's a free event we can have configure a ticket. So for example, as I mentioned, it's a private event where we are going to only include 50 executives, C-level executive people. It's a free, and the status whether it's open or it's a close or marked, so we can just do it after, like it's not relevant to RSVP. Here buying limit for a single, because it's not a buying, but we can also involve our colleagues as well. And when is the sale going to start? Maybe we can just mark it as now, and even start end date is like, say, let's have it as even end date same date, or we can mark it as 29 September, timing, etc. Once we configure ticket class, it will now enable the option to enable RSVP. So here you have to click on this button to click enable RSVP feature. Once you enable, you could see here we have an option called response deadline configuration. So as I already mentioned, like this helps us to ensure that we have a confirmed head count one day before or 2 day before, or maybe it can be on the start event date morning. Like if it's starting at 8, we can close the response deadline by 7. So for that we have an option. So we have two options, whether it's an event start at a time, or we can also have a custom date. So I'm placing it as custom date, same Monday, September 29th, so that we can have the confirmed participation attendees list by September 29, 2025, 5:25 p.m. so that we can arrange the seatings and dinings as well. And now let's move on to the guest. So here under guest, so to add a guest, it is mandatory to us to publish the event. So because as soon as I start adding the guest, we can send invitations to the guest as well. So it's almost the last step. Once we complete the website building part, add the agenda, etc., then we will be adding the guest list. So I'm just publishing the event for now, for showing you how to add the guest list. Okay. So the event has been published. Now either you can click on add guest option, or we have import guest option as well. So when you click on import guest, we have to upload the file as XLS or CSV format. Let me show you by a dummy data. Okay. So here you have an option like once the import is completed, we can directly send the notification to those users. For now, I'm just unselecting this because there's test data, and then click on next. And here we have to do the field mapping as well. First name, last name, email, phone, company, and the job title. Once done, you can have other fields as well. Based on your necessity, you can create more fields. So once I click on import, confirm, and then import. Okay, here you could see the number of data I have imported is 10 and failed records is 100. Once you click on done, here are those 10 records. And then, as I mentioned, we can also add list guests manually as well. So when you click on this, you can even add single guest or multi-guest here. So I'm now just trying to add my name so that I can show you how the email is received. So phone number is not mandatory. I'm just leaving it. So now I'm selecting this box, and once I add, it will send a notification to this particular person. So here you could see, click on this ellipsis icon. Here we can view the data. If you want to edit any guest information, you can directly do it. And also, for example, if a person calls, or if you wanted to like send a reminder email notification to the person before a day or 2 days before, we can just click on this icon and send a reminder. So we have to do it manually to all the attendees as well. So for example, if someone calls you, instead of like reacting to the email that has been sent, instead they call you or just confirm their attendance via an email or a call, we can click on this and just mark them as attending or not. So I'm just marking it as, say, attending. And if I say maybe for this particular person, and for this, if I'm saying no, mark is not ready. So this is how the data changes. Now let's see how my the email looks like in my email box. Okay, let it open. Maybe we can show you how the email looks like in a while. I think it's opened. So here is the email. Okay, so this is how the email looks like. So this template can be customizable. I can show this, so show you how to customize the email. So here, as I mentioned, we have three options: attending, not attending, maybe. So if I say attending, within a fraction of seconds, it will reflect this data in the summary page in the dashboard over here in the account. So once I click on attending, it will route me to the my micro website where I can select my I can have I can confirm, I can just have whether I'm attending or not attending the event. So here under your response, I can mark my attendance directly from here. So once that is done, so here on the top, we can see a summary dashboard which will show us how many guests we have imported or added manually and with their responses. Like here in this case, I have one attending, one maybe, and one is not attending, and 8 are yet to respond. And then with this, this is how we have to add users in under RSVP. So once RSVP user have been added, maybe before this, if you wanted to customize the email communications as well, you can do it directly from here. So under communicate on the left panel, so under automated emails, we can customize the email template. So if you click on view, you can view the email template from here. Or if you want to edit, you can click on edit, and you can change as you want. Like you can add your font colors according to your organization branding. You can also change all the content, and you can just rearrange these buttons as well. Here you can add your company's social media handles as well. You can add it here, and you can save the template. You can send the test email from clicking on this button. So the test email has been sent to this particular user. So this is how we can customize the email template as well. So once here we have other stuff, like if you wanted to send emails to the speaker. So as soon as I add a speaker to an event, similarly to the sponsors, exhibitors, engagement, rehearsals, and event cancellation, email can be customized directly under communication tab. And now let's also see how to configure a website, design a website. So under design, you can click on edit website. So here, this is the top bar is a navigation bar. So here you can edit this navigation bar by clicking on this setting icon. Here you can upload your organization logo, followed by you can have a navigation link. So for example, it's an RSVP event, you do not want to show all these parts like sponsors, exhibitors, you don't want to show them. You can just click on the, for example, if I wanted to hide the sponsors, you can just click on this eye icon. You can add or delete the button. You can edit the subform as well. So I'm just hiding the exhibitor, sponsors, gallery, etc. And you can also add more links depending to your use case. And under navigation buttons, for now it has sign in, and second option is language. If you want to add any other buttons, you can also add them very well from here. Under design, we can design the whole navigation bar directly from here under design. So navigation bar layout, we have certain default layouts. So this is like we have a logo, then we have a space followed up by the buttons, so links, right? We can also customize that as well. Similarly, we have the active link style as well, whether it's a rectangle or a rhombus or a spherical rounded corners, or just we have to show the links. So we have 6 styles available to configure the style links, and we can have the sub menu drop down. We can either have a arrow or a blocked arrow or a plus icon. So this can be done directly from here. And this is the hero section, under which, like, if you wanted to change your title of the webinar, you can directly add it from here. If you wanted to change the style of this date and the time, you can click on this setting icon. Here you can have the widget size, whether it's a small widget, or if you wanted to have a large or extra large, you can do it directly from here. If you wanted to only show the date, you can just toggle off the time menu toggle button, and it will remove the timings. So based upon your use case, you can customize everything from this particular window itself. And if you wanted to have multiple slides as well, like in the hero page, if you wanted to add multiple slides, you can directly do it by clicking on the setting icon and add multiple slides, so that it will automatically, like, we can also have an automated, or we can have an arrow to navigate to the next slide, or we can have an set up a time, like after 5 or 6 seconds it will automatically move us to the second slide. This is how we can edit this part. So similarly, we can remove this part. If you don't want to show white button or our speaker section, you can remove, or you can design everything accordingly over here. So the venue section over here, and we have the integration map, so that it can show us the direction as well. So on the pages, if you wanted to remove or hide some pages, you can very well do it from here by clicking on this eye icon. It will hide the pages. Under this, we can edit and design the page, but here under the pages, we can only hide or unhide the pages. And then under languages, Zoho Backstage, or like the default language for this particular account is English. That's why it's in the source language is English. If you wanted to host host it across the worldwide, you can have multi-language options as well available in Zoho Backstage. And then, as I mentioned, it has integration with CRM. Not only CRM, it has with PageSense. So we can integrate with PageSense and track the website activity of the attendance, or the of the attendees, or the prospects who are visiting our microsite. We can also configure that. And if you wanted to have your chat widget from Zoho Sales IQ to pop up in the website, you can very well do it from here, integrated, and you can configure the chat widget in Sales IQ and just enable that in the here Backstage. It will have that. We can enable it for the, either we can have chatbot or customer bot can be enabled here. This is how to design a website over here. So once it's been designed, you can click on republish, so that all the changes will be reflected in the website. So once this is done, okay, so this is how from registration you can enable RSVP. Just a quick walk through what we have covered till now. We have to configure a ticket class, a general ticket class, followed up by you can create an RSVP. You have to enable it, and you can import the guest list. And under communication, you can configure the email templates as well. So as I mentioned, under here registrations, you can see the summary as well. Under this guest information, you can see the summary. So this is how RSVP has to be configured. Then let's switch back to the slides over here. So after the live demo, now let's see the benefits of RSVP. So the traditional method limitations are over here. So like in traditional method, we usually used Excel sheets for tracking, right? So manual tracking and Excel sheets are prone to errors. We have to do the follow-ups manually. And it is like very difficult. It might be difficult for the event management team to handle all the guest list and send them timely follow-ups. And the last is like it has a limited professional branding. Like either it will have the logo of the particular app, or like it will have the watermark, right? So that's in Backstage we can remove that. So advantages of Zoho Backstage is like we can have the real-time response dashboard with visual analytics can be seen. We can send automated reminders before or after the event. We can have professional branded guest experience to the attendees, and we have integration with other Zoho apps as well. Not only Zoho apps, third-party app. If you wanted to run an online event and you have to run that online event on Zoom, definitely it has integration with Zoom as well. And then we can have the guest list management with categories, tags. We can add notes, etc. And then it has also mobile optimized response form can also be easily accessible with RSVP. So with this, I think we have come to the end of the session. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can drop it in the Q&A, or you can drop us an email at sales@spikra.com. If you have any other questions regarding Backstage or RSVP, we are happy to help you over email, or we can get on a call afterwards as well. Please drop in your questions in the Q&A box. Maybe I can answer some of them today. Okay, I think you do not have any questions. Maybe we can end the session for today. And if you have any questions, please drop your questions in like sales@spikra.com. Maybe we can catch up later as well. I hope you had a clear understanding of how RSVP can be used in your events. If you have any doubts on any other product, please drop your email at sales@spikra. We are happy to help. Thank you and have a nice day.